Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you the lessons report in the math module. So I'm going to click on math again, and we went over snapshot, progress, and placement in the previous video. Now we're going to look at lessons. So when I'm in my lessons tab, I can look at the first tab beneath that, which is completed. So if I look at this, I can see each student, I can see how many lessons they've completed, their average score, their last session, and their last 5 scores. And then I can also look at their current lesson. So to get a little deeper into that, if I click on a student, I can look at every single lesson that they have completed. And I can see the score for it and the date, and I can see that this one is in progress. If I click on any of the actual lessons, it will drill down and look at all of the standards underneath that lesson. And then if I want to look at each individual lesson, I click on it. And then again, I get to see all of the questions that they answered. And if I wanted to, I could reassign that lesson topic. I'm going to come back to show all students. And we're going to go to the next tab, which is assign. So when I click on assign, I can look at anything that was assigned to those students. And I can either click on block 1 or I can do individual students. So let's say I click on block 1. Now I can come in here and I could assign a specific lesson, or I can look up the standard and assign it to my students. So I could click on this, click on the checkbox, and click assign. And that would assign it to all of my students. And for this case, it would be block 1. I could also unassign those. If I click on this lesson, click unassign, it will unassign it from all students. I could also print the lesson out if I wanted to do it paper and pencil. I'll come back to show all students. Next tab is sequence. When I look at the sequence, I can click on a student and I can see the order that the lessons are going to be given to this student. So the first one will be unit rates, next will be percentages, next will be opposite numbers. If I wanted to change those, I could just simply click and drag up or down. If I wanted to get rid of one, I could trash that by clicking on the trash can. And I can do that for all of my students. And what's nice is if I do click on, and I'll go back there, if I do click on the first student, I don't need to keep coming back to go to each student. I can click on this over arrow and it will take me from student to student, and I can see all of their sequences and what they're going to be getting in the next, up to 10, maybe plus lessons. Next tab is exclude. If I want to exclude any lessons, and you can see this is grade K, these are all excluded. So if any of the students actually placed down there, maybe they weren't taking the diagnostic test seriously, or they just had a bad day, they will still not get these. So they will be, all the kindergarten lessons will be excluded, and you can exclude however many lessons that you want in the different grade levels. Next, I look at class view. And when I look at class view, I can see all of the different lessons that had been assigned. And at the bottom, it says all assigned, or I can look at teacher assigned or automatically assigned. And this is what will be assigned based on their diagnostic test, the automatically assigned. But I'm going to look at all assigned, and I can see every lesson that was assigned, and this will be based on all of my students. So let's say, for example, I wanted to look at numbers 0 to 5. Okay, so this was assigned before they excluded all of these lessons. And you can see none of the students completed that. Underneath that, and you can see adding with tens, and I can see all of the students that had worked on that specific lesson. Come back to show students. And again, if I wanted to look at any of these different lessons, you can see some of the students are working up there, and you can see there's none in block 1. And I can look at any of the lessons, and I could drill down if the students actually completed those lessons.